This area is pretty close. This is about 2 minutes away. We had another one on Upshire.
Yes.
And so I was kind of concerned, do we have connectivity? Usually what I do is I try to get out to the scenes and I try to get a feel for what's going on. Came out here yesterday and tried to talk to the community. Usually when I come out here and I sit down on soup with people and just talk to them, they start telling me what's happening and they're telling me who's engaged in talking. I came out here yesterday and they were kind of like, we don't know. They were obfuscating what was going on. So that's why I wanted to know what actually happened out here. And probably it's somebody in the neighborhoods and somebody who's still close to the neighborhood why they're not talking and not addressing things. So that's what I want to get a feel.
Well, this is the area where the traffic stop on Monday night, or actually early Tuesday morning, I guess, started.
Mm-hmm. This area is called the Chum.
Right.
And I've had the guys focused on 2 areas in the Northeast that continuously be problematic for us. Chum being this area here for violence, and the 4x4, which is very active for violence too. And so we're trying to be assertive, get in front of it, be proactive when we're out here as an organization.
Was the activity that was going on Monday night, Tuesday morning, with the officers from the Northeast District in plain clothes and in a rental car related to the violence that's been going on? I mean, were they on kind of a stepped-up enforcement?
Well, the first part is that we have, because our fleet has been downsized over the last 10 years, is that the organization has used rental cars and lease cars. We have a mix in different capacities. Something that I'm not happy with, but it's been there for 10 years. I'm moving budgetarily to try to get us out of that system to make that happen, because I'm not really happy with it. But there again, it's been taking place for 10 years.
Commissioner, specifically...
And then, hold on one second, let me come back. Now, I didn't get the second part of what you were asking me.
Whether that activity that they were doing, whatever enforcement activity they were involved in, was it related to the violence that has been going on?
The reason that the officers were out here was at the direction of the command staff. What we're telling them, we know where our locations are, and if that's the case, we expect them to be out here, being active, taking an active role to keep the community safe and to engage with the community. So most likely that was the reason that they were in the area, because they've been directed to be out here in the area.
The family, as you may know, the sister of the woman who was killed in the crash at Northern Parkway, New York Road, blames police. How do you respond to that? Blames police for pursuing that car to begin with.
I think for me, when I went out to that scene at 2 o'clock in the morning, the scene actually occurred about 12:30. I got a call about 1:30, and I was out there about 2 o'clock. It was a very horrific scene. There was a very horrific crash. Any loss of humanity in the city is tragic for us. Any innocent person that is impacted, it is tragic. Although you had the suspects who ran into the victim and took the life of the innocence that was there, it's tragic. My heart is broken. It's an impact to the organization. It's an impact to the officers who are involved. It's an impact to the whole organization and department. I was out there that night when they were addressing all the deceased on the scene, and they were putting them in bags, and it's a very horrific thing for all of us. So I understand. My heart bleeds too.
Is there any update to that? Specific concerns from the family, picking up on that, one of which is the basic question: why was police or pursuing that hunter?
That's the same question that Jane asked, and the bottom line to it is, as Deputy Commissioner Rodriguez has shared, is that we're part of an investigation right now, and so we can't share everything that's taking place. And I was responsible for us doing things a little differently than what we've done historically here at the Baltimore Police Department. When I got on scene, what goes through my mind is to be able to answer all your questions. And so I directed them to make a call to, number one, freeze that scene, and we handled it like it was an officer-involved shooting scene. We had our accident investigator unit come out. We also had our homicide guys come out. We locked down that scene, started taking pictures, and so we would get a factual perspective. We also had the state's attorney. We got them out. We woke them up. We got them out of bed. We got the solicitor's office out there to look at from a civil standpoint, to look from any negligence standpoint. So we were taking, at my direction, we were taking an assertive stance to be able to answer all those questions. Right now, we just can't. Part of the reason that we can't answer everything for you, we have a pretty good concept of what took place out there right now. But there's the holes and gaps that we haven't talked to the officer yet. In the state of Maryland, you have a very strong officer Bill of Rights that gives them a certain amount of time. And so before we jump out there and share a lot of information, we need to talk to the officers, talk to everyone, and build that picture. whether locking down the scene, bringing in a helicopter, being out there for 12 hours to make sure that when the time comes, we have all those answers.
I guess the question that we didn't ask earlier is the suspicious activity that police say that two people were engaged in. What was the suspicious activity?
I know, for right now, I think I know the answer to that question, but there again, I'm saying I think. I need to know and have validity for the answer to that. That comes from the police officers. And so the Bill of Rights allows them the time, and so we got to work through their attorneys to sit down with them, to interview them, to get the true story.
Were police officers chasing that vehicle?
That's all part of the investigation, and we'll give you all those answers when we truly know the answer to it.
But by this point, which is now 34 days later, your folks have certainly had an opportunity to review all of the radio transmissions. To this point, does it look like procedure was followed?
That I can't answer. I think I know the answer. There again, I'm saying I think I know the answer. I need to have have it validated by sitting down and talking to the officers. There's some issues that I have concern with overall with the incident that took place out there and kind of disturbing. But I'm not going to jump to conclusions until I have some valid answers for you. So I stand here and don't guess at them, but tell you I probably have a good idea with what we have right now. We've talked to a lot of witnesses, much like you've talked and interviewed a lot of witnesses. We reconstructed the scene. We've taken pictures of the scene, so we have a pretty good feel. But we need to validate that before we're going to.
Do we have a timeline on? You said a strong Bill of Rights for officers. Do you know when you might be able to release some of this information?
Yeah, we'll follow up with you and give you the exact standards that the Bill of Rights exists out there for you.
Justin, why haven't you talked to the officers, Commissioner?
Hold on 1 second. Justin, do you have anything?
I'd like to hear you weigh in on this debate about arrests in the city. It seems to be everything that's being talked about. How do you feel about it?
Go back to this question, which deals with the pursuit, and then we'll get to your question. I'm sorry, what were you asking?
You have said repeatedly that you haven't had a chance to speak to the officers. When you know more about the officers, after speaking with them, you'll have answers to the questions. I'm just wondering, why haven't the officers been spoken to at this point?
Because of the Officer Bill of Rights. And they have to go through their attorney, just like anyone.
Have you spoken to the family of the woman who died or the other two who died?
No, that's something I would like to do. Yes. I'm sorry.
What's your thought about this debate over the arrest level in the city?
Well, my job and my focus is to keep my nose to the grindstone to make sure that we address crime and that we do it in a very proactive way, and that's where I'm focused on my energies.
Well, you have been talking about more quality of life arrests. I mean, are you taking some of that to heart, what the governor's saying?
There again, my thought is that I'm going to keep my nose to the grindstone, make sure that we're addressing crime in an appropriate way.
Commissioner, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Already.